Here you go. Yeah.
I suppose you want to talk to me now.
Yeah,
do you?
yeah, I do.
All right, okay.
Let's see.
It's okay.
I promise not to ask you stupid questions.
Don't ask me stupid questions, Don. I haven't got much time.
Too late
Come on.
tonight. No. First of all, I really want to say thank you. Because you didn't have to come and do this show, and for you to come out here, I'm pulling out my notes from there. We are. I got some good questions. I want to ask all of them. We don't have so much time, but first of all,
quickly,
I want to say thank you because. Honestly, there are a lot of musicians. For example, my father loves Simon and Garfunkel. And I love Simon and Garfunkel a lot. I also love Prince. And I love some Michael. But when I heard his new album, A Different World, and we met for the first time, I don't know if I told you in person or sent a message, but I said, my God, it feels like you have written this soundtrack of my life.
it's very nice of you.
It's really serious, Adrian. We're almost the same age. Yeah. And, you talk about the state of a homeless man. I spent time in London with the homeless. And for me, that's very personal because I see how far down people can get when nobody believes in them and they give up on themselves. And then you talk about Viva la Revolution, somebody trying to get the courage to live again when your dreams fall apart, And then you sing about a different world. And, I'm 45 now, and I'm getting closer to 50. And I'm thinking 50 is actually the new 25.
No, it's not. It's 50.
Oh, well. There goes my dreams. Okay, well, I need some positive thoughts.
A lot of the music I write is sometimes it's nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like sometimes different worlds, like going, it used to be so much better when it's so much simpler when I was a child. And for me, coming from childhood through the internet age, and suddenly having to text everybody, whatever, it's like completely like mad.
I feel like a dinosaur sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Do you still remember? I still remember the days that my parents got their first remote control TV. I was the remote control. Dad said, "Don, change the channel." I changed it. They said, "Hold the antenna up to this way," and then we got 6 channels on the TV, and that was big. And, I'm listening to your music and so many questions, but I want to ask you, you're a fabulous musician. You've won too many awards to name, but what's so interesting for me is not only are you a fabulous musician in your own right and accomplished, but you're also a father of 3 wonderful children and a husband.
Yeah.
How has being a father influenced the music you write? Has it influenced it?
I think you take a lot of strength from your children when you have children, but there's always like I don't think you have to give everything. You have to keep it to the children. You give as much as you can,
I understand.
But you have to keep your own ideas and your own vision to make do your own thing. It's not chains around your life all the time. My children are inspirational. When I first saw my first born daughter, my first son, and my second son, it was a miracle.
Yeah.
And I love it. But at the same time, it's also given me strength to go and do my own things as well.
Wow. Well, another question for you. Let me ask you this. Can you tell us, I know your story, and you don't have to share all of it, but can you give us the Adrian T. Bell story in brief? Because if I understand correctly, what's amazing to me is you've only actually been performing for about 10 years. Is that true?
Yeah, I started when I was 40.
Can you believe this? And can I say you're 43 now, right?
I'm a bit older, but doesn't matter. It's okay.
Yeah. This since the age of 40. How many 40-year-olds do we have in this room tonight? How many? Any 40-year-olds? 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 50? This is proof that no matter how old you are, it's not about just young people, but no matter how old you are, your life is so full of possibility. You never know what tomorrow can do.
But the thing is, in England, I don't think I could have done this.
Really?
I love Prague. Prague has given me so much. I've got a lot of friends here. I've got a lot of freedom here that I wouldn't have in England because it's too expensive, because the
true.
rent's too expensive, whatever. Lots of things. But I find like Prague is a very nice place, great place to do what you want to do, create and do things.
You know, you and I talked a lot about the ideas of positive thinking. And you really inspired me by some things that you said. Can you tell me in your own life, how has this whole topic of seeing things in a positive way, how has it, first, how did you learn it? And how has it influenced your life?
It's always difficult, this, because like, a lot of the time I've been depressed or been upset with something, and somebody comes to me and goes, "Hey, you should be more positive. Go and be positive." And it's really difficult.
Yeah, it is.
Telling somebody who's down to be positive.
Yeah.
Because if you're down, you're down. You don't want to be
That's
positive. You just go, "No, I don't want to be positive." Get lost. Especially in Czech Republic, you go like, "Be positive," and they go like, "Nah."
Yeah.
Whatever. You know, it's like. But I love creativity. I love creating things, and whether it's positive or negative, I don't mind as long as I'm creating something. So I don't look at it as like, "Hey, you go and be happy now because you should be happy." I don't think a lot of people feel like that. I think a lot of people feel like, "Well, actually, I'm okay being sad." You know, it's like I don't mind. It's okay to be sad.
Yeah.
It's okay to have bad things going on in your life, because you learn from bad things.
This
and
is
then
true.
the next time you go like, "Okay, I did that before, and I'm going to go and do something else now." That's all.
You know, we don't often, we appreciate the good times. I think we don't always stop to appreciate the bad times because they make us sometimes, no?
Well, nobody likes the bad times, but shit's gonna happen.
That's right.
You know, it's like things happen in your life, and you have to get through it. It's like you can't always be happy. Sorry.
That's true. Yeah.
It's not the deal.
I know. When things happen to me in my life, that it took a long time to find my way back, and you know, I look back. And if my life had always been perfect, if I had always lived in a rose garden and, you know, had a fancy car and lots of money and everybody thought I was great, I don't think I really would have tried to go anywhere in life. I would still be sitting home in the United States at a job that I totally hated and be another 45-year-old person with a mortgage and a car and a garage and another mortgage on the house and maybe the second wife, maybe the third wife, and totally miserable. But for me, having the hard times really, I don't know, it pushed me. It pushed me to come out of it.
Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes people go under, but
that's true.
Like sometimes you go sometimes you realize something about yourself that you're stronger than you think, basically, or whatever.
It's also, I saw that lots of times on the streets of London as well. Life is not always perfect. And sometimes bad things happen to good people. And there's no answers why sometimes. A question for you tonight. Who is Adrian T. Bell's musical inspiration? Because, I mean, when I hear your voice, I first thought it's Bob Dylan.
Do you want the list? It starts with actually Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
I think actually when I was seven, and Tim knows this because he started listening to Bob Dylan very early as well. Something about Bob Dylan's voice, his way he writes poetry, the way he talks about things, the way he focuses on life is just wonderful. And then I had punk, I had like electro. I mean, like everything.
Really? Electro as well.
You know, it's like from childhood. And then songwriters. I like songwriters. Mm-hmm. You know, like Cohen, Tom Waits.
Cohen's amazing.
Like millions of people. And there's a huge amount of talent out in the world. Songwriters, everybody. And I just look at them and go like, wow, I'd love to be able one day to emulate that or do something similar.
Yeah. Well, one question for you. What advice would you give to young people who want to follow their dreams? Because, I mean, everybody thinks about people starting off in a career in music or whatever as a young person, but you started off at 40 years old, which is, I don't think it's so common in life.
Well, I think everybody should just do what they. I say easy to say, do what you want to do, but society is kind of strange because it forces you to, go in a direction which you're not particularly happy with.
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of problems start with kids with their parents first, convincing their parents that they want to do something, and then if the parents support them, great. Sometimes the parents don't,
Yeah.
so the kid has to go into a world of his own where that he can't comprehend, and he hasn't got the support that he needs, whatever. But I think like you always in your head, if you've got a dream, then you'll always find a way to make it happen.
Wow.
If you want it to happen, there's nothing too complicated about it.
Yeah.
You just work at it and do it.
Yeah.
But it's the work actually that makes it happen.
This is true. I'll have a saying. I noticed you actually checked like on it. Well, I was like, wow, I got the Adrian T. Bell like on my Facebook. I posted a saying that I actually stole from someone else. But it said that the life that you want equals positive thinking plus work. And then you get the life you want. Not always that way, but for some reason, sometimes it does. Speaking of that, when you see a young musician, what is it that you see in a young musician that tells you that person really has got something?
I don't know.
I think you know where we're going with this.
Okay, well, it's a difficult one. You just see somebody who's got the balls to do it. Somebody's got the courage.
Yeah.
It's not difficult. It's not easy standing on a stage in front of people. It's
and taking a chance.
It's not easy. So like when you see somebody doing it and letting go, and all the guys tonight are great. Like they've all got big hearts. They've all got musical talent, and I think like if they continue with it, they're gonna get better and better. But the thing I look for in somebody is the passion.
Yeah.
There's like in anything, the passion in painting,
yeah.
passion in art, passion in poetry, whatever, is just the want to do it. They want to do it, and they're going to work and work and work to make it happen. That's all.
Well,